Hi, welcome to Jenna Clark Yoga. My name is Jenna Clark and I'm going to teach you an abdominals class today. The rest of my abdominals classes, the 30-minute ones on my YouTube, are just straight core. This one we're going to kind of move through poses with an emphasis on core. So go ahead and start on your back and we'll breathe there. So you can find a wall if you need to put your feet up on. Take the small of the back and move it towards the ground. So it's going to be a posterior pelvic tilt. And from here, we're just going to kind of press in somewhere, whether our fingers be on the back and our thumbs on our back and our fingers on our front, or if we just have all our fingers on our front. The goal of this is just to fill the space underneath the fingers. So take a deep inhale, and then as you exhale, allow it to drop. You can use this anywhere in your body. You can touch your traps. You can do all the way on your back. You can do one side. Just really wherever, up and down your core. You can do it in your chest. Just pick one spot and we'll hold it for 5 breaths. Inhaling, expanding, and exhaling, allowing it to fall. So after that, we're going to take just one more space. So just find a different space than before, and then we'll breathe into there. Three more breaths, expanding, pushing your fingertips out, and then as you exhale, you should feel them pushing back in. Awesome. And now we're going to bring our feet off the wall. So just come somewhere off the wall. You can even just push yourself slightly away from it. And same thing, we're going to bring the small of our back down. And you're going to bring your knees into your chest, open your knees wide, and almost like you're going to touch your toes together. They don't have to be touching. And then we're going to breathe here. The goal of this one is to see if you can inhale, keep that inhale, and keep the pressure as you exhale. So take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, see if you can hold that abdominal pressure. Inhaling, expanding into your fingers. And then exhaling, keeping that press into the fingers. Should really be working your core here. You can move your fingers around if you'd like. I just let mine drop. It's really hard. All right, so from here, we're going to take a deep breath in. Now that we know what that abdominal pressure feels like, we're going to release our hands. And with each inhale, we're going to take our left leg down. And then exhale, bring that left leg back in. Inhale, keeping that abdominal pressure, tap the right leg down. And then exhale, bring that right knee back in. So we'll just do this a couple times, inhaling and exhaling. Keeping the small of the back on the ground. Keeping that abdominal pressure through the exhale. Beautiful. One more on each side. Awesome. That is intra-abdominal puffing, super important for lifting heavy weights, just for really turning the core on in any way. You should learn that. So rewind the video a couple times if you need more time to do that. And if you feel like you don't think you're doing it right, just pick a different spot. See if you can feel any more lift in that, or keep working in that spot and you will get better at it. Okay, so we're going to stay on our spines. Bring your feet down towards the floor. Find your core here by finding that puff. Find the puff, find the strong core, and then take your hands on your hips. So we want to move the pelvis separate from the shoulders here. So notice if you can take the small of your back away, and then really arch your spine here. So the small of the back is coming away from the floor, and then towards the floor. So as you're making this movement, the curling the tailbone up underneath you is when the small of the back is on the ground. Showing your tail feathers is whenever the small of the back is away from the ground. So on your next inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky, and as you exhale, bring the elbows down next to you. Lock the shoulders underneath you. Take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, start to curl your tailbone underneath you so the small of the back is touching the floor. And then you can keep lifting the hips up. We're more in a straight line than that natural bridge that a lot of people make. So keep lifting the hips, focusing on those glutes. Take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, push the weight through your knees. And you'll start to lift your chest even higher. Really push through your feet, pushing everything from down here away from you, and your chest will move further up. Allow your head and your neck to relax. This is a shoulder stand, so you shouldn't really have much pressure in the back of your head. And if you'd like, you can clasp the hands underneath you, or simply lift the hips up with your hands. Keep pressing through your feet the whole time. One more deep inhale. And then as you exhale, release your hands and slowly lower down the same way that you came up, allowing the small of the back to touch the ground, and then we can windshield wiper our legs side to side. Awesome. All right. So go ahead and bring your knees into your chest here. Squeeze for a moment. And then we can start rocking up and down our spines. So where the core comes into this is the balance at the end. See if you can stop yourself to the point where you can balance, maybe even without your hands, in a boat pose. Awesome. Do 3 more of these. I like to exhale as I come forward and inhale as I move backwards. Awesome. And on that third one, we're going to try to hold it, squeeze the knees in towards each other, spread the toes, and lift the heels up to parallel with the floor. Reach forward, lift the heart, pulling the knees into the chest. Take a deep inhale and exhale, reach. Inhale, pull the chest up. Exhale, pull that navel center in and up. One more deep inhale, and then as you exhale, bring the feet down. All right. So this next one, I like to think about the core as more than just, this front ab section. I like to think about the core as the whole torso. So yeah, we're going to start moving through stuff to turn on our hip flexors a little bit. So we find a seat. You can be here if you really want to work, but I would suggest just starting kind of long at first. And then you can squeeze your knees in towards each other, press your feet into the floor, and start to drag them back towards you isometrically like they're stuck to the sticky mat, right? And that'll start to turn on your glutes and your hamstrings and your hip flexors, and then your core reaching your crown of your head up towards the sky, reach your hands forward. Take a deep inhale, squeeze your knees in towards each other, and as you exhale, keep your knee exactly where it's at, just straighten the leg. Beautiful. We're holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set it back down. Kind of bounce your legs out for a moment. And then bring those knees back in. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the heart. Take the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, release the hands. Squeeze, and then exhale, lift that right leg. Keep the knees together as much as you can. If you notice, my knees are in one line here. Keep reaching forward, and keep lifting the heart. 3 more seconds. 2, and 1. Set it down. Awesome. So now instead of holding, we're going to lift and lower. We'll do 3 on each side. So bring the knees in towards each other. Take the arms out straight. Lift the heart. Pull the navel center in and up. Squeeze the knees in towards each other. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Lift 1 last time. And then set it down. Bounce those out. Awesome. And then 1 time on the other side. Or 3 times really. Squeeze the knees. Take the heart forward. Take the hands forward. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And lower it down. So one thing you'll notice as you're doing that, your knees want to change positions, right? The knee wants to come down so that we can straighten the leg. That's not the point, right? We want to keep the 2 knees in one line. Also, what happens is our back starts to round. That's just our core telling us that we need to work on it just a little bit more, right? It's all in practice. Okay, so from here, we are going to roll forward onto all fours and come into tiger crunches. So kind of just moving up to standing and then back down to the floor. So take your palms on the ground, the knees underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders. I want to say something really quick. So a lot of gymnasts, they have an external rotation of their shoulders, right, when they're dismounting, and then an internal rotation of their hands. That's the same exact thing as pretty much any pose where your hands are touching the ground. You need an external rotation of your shoulders and an internal rotation of your hands. We need to press the index finger and the thenar eminence of the thumb of both hands into the floor while internal rotation, right? But notice my shoulders are in internal rotation right now. That's not what we need. We're not strong here, so we need to externally rotate them. The eyes of the elbows point forward, and now we're in a steady stack spot using our lats. So from here, press into the floor, press your shoulders up away from you. Take a deep inhale. Start to drop your belly, lift your heart, and then as you exhale, push through your shoulders and then round your spine, pulling your navel center in and up as hard as you can. And as you exhale, breathe deep into your belly, dropping the belly, lifting the heart. And then exhaling, pushing through the shoulders and then rounding the spine. Go with your breath here for a couple more rounds. I'm just going to fix my hair. Inhaling as you drop the belly, and then exhaling as you lift the spine, rounding it, pulling the navel center in and up. On your next inhale, come to a neutral spine. And we're just going to start to work into our shoulders just a little bit. So take your left hand high, reach it as far forward as you can, and then we're just going to keep the elbow as high as we can, pushing through this right arm, pushing through the knees, reaching as far back, keeping the elbow high. Turn the palm up towards the sky and then bend the elbow. From here, we're going to lift the hand off the spine, take the arm straight, bring it back around. As you come to the side, you're going to turn the palm back down towards the ground and then reach forward. One more time, out to the side, turning the palm up as it gets behind you, lifting the elbow and then bending at that elbow. Lift the hand off the spine, stretch it back, reach it out to the side, turn the palm back down, and then set that palm down. Kind of shake it out a little bit. So we're just kind of working into the shoulders here a little. On the other side, go ahead and press through your shoulders. So we don't want to be dumping down here, right? Press through the shoulders. Drag your hands back towards your knees just a little bit to turn your core on, and then lift your right hand. Reach forward, reach out to the side, keeping the elbow as high as you can. Turn the palm up, and then bend at that elbow. You want to place the elbow as high as you can on that spine. Lifting the hand off the spine, keeping the elbow as high as you can. Bring it back around, turning the palm down, and reach forward. One more time, reaching it out to the side. Turning the palm up, reaching back, keeping the elbow as high as you can, and then bending at the elbow, placing it on the spine. Lift the hand off the spine, reach back, and then as you reach forward, turn the palm back down. Awesome. Shake it out for you. All right. So now we're going to start this tiger crunch. Press both hands into the ground, around through your shoulder blades here, and then we'll take our left hand high. Allow your shoulder to stay away from your ear. We're not reaching here. We're just kind of like reaching forward. Take your right leg back and touch the toes to the ground. Let me turn sideways. So the toes are touching the ground so that we're not here in lifting, right? We want to touch the toes to the ground, contract the quad, send the back of the knee up towards the sky, push through the right hand, push through the left knee, and then lift that right ankle up. Turn back and notice if your toes are turned out. Can you turn them down towards the ground and then come back towards the center? Lift the left hand high, lift the right leg high. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bring the knee and the elbow together. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, come back in. When you come in, bring the knee all the way up into the chest and around the spine. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, back in. Inhale, reach out. And then exhale, set everything down. So we're actually going to keep our right leg back here. So just set the left hand down. And we're going to roll into the inside of the right leg. So the left hand's on the ground, the left knee, and the inside of that right foot. Inhale your heart high, your right hand high. And then as you exhale, reach over, bringing your bicep by your ear, but constantly, and bring awareness to your shoulder, pulling it onto your spine so that your shoulder and your chest can lift up and look up at the ceiling. Beautiful. One more deep inhale. Exhale, bring that right arm down, and then bring that right knee in. Bring your toes together, knees slightly apart, or really severely apart, and sit back into your child's pose. Pause for a moment. On your next inhale, look at your hands, press them deeply into the ground, and drag your hands back towards your knees to bring you back up into all fours. And then we'll plant ourselves back. Excuse my nasaliness. I'm a little sick right now with allergies. So plant your hands down into the floor. Push through your shoulders. Take a deep inhale and lift up your right arm. Take your left leg back, touching the floor. Find the straightest leg possible. So find the quad, the knee moving up into the quad, the back of the leg lifting towards the sky, and then the point of the toe. Take a deep inhale, push through the left hand, push through the right knee, and lift that back leg. Make sure the toes are pointed down towards the ground so the two hips stay in mostly the same line. Keep reaching through the heel or the toes. Take a deep inhale, and exhale, bring everything into the center. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, reach. And then exhale, bring the right leg down. Bring the inside of the left foot onto the floor. So the right hand, the right knee, and the inside of that left foot is touching the floor. Push through the right hand to bring that right shoulder onto the spine. And then lift the chest high. Take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, move the palm down towards the floor. Move the bicep by the ear and stretch through that left side body. This is a balancing pose, surprisingly, so keep the core tight here, pulling in and up on that navel center. One more deep inhale. And as you exhale, bring the left arm down. Bring that left knee in. Toes together, knees wide. If you can, look forward with your chin. If not, keep the forehead on the ground. Beautiful. On your next inhale, rise all the way up. I'm going to turn back towards y'all for this next one. So we're going to take our right leg out to the right. We're coming into a version of gate pose. So squeeze your inner thighs together and really press the outside foot into the floor. So inner thighs are squeezing towards each other. The right quad is contracted. The left knee is pushing into the ground. Take your hands on your hips and stand up. Curl the tailbone down towards your toes, or your knee, really. And send your hips forward, the belt buckle up towards your face. Take a deep inhale, reach up. Extend through this left side body. And then as you exhale, take your right hand down and reach over. You're pulling your right foot into your body the entire time. Taking your left arm over your head, the same thing here, pulling that left shoulder back so that we can look up towards the ceiling. Keep breathing. And then as you exhale, bring your left arm down. We're going to take our hands behind our head now, and this is where the core comes in a little bit more. Really send energy out through the elbows here. Pull the shoulders down the spine. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, we're just going to lean our elbows straight down. So you should be in a straight line here eventually. And then inhale, pull yourself back up. As you pull yourself back up, squeeze your inner thighs together and allow your core to do the work. Inhale. Exhale. Pull yourself back up. Inhale. Allow yourself to come down. Exhale. Find that strength. Inhale, reaching over towards the left side. Exhaling. Coming up. Inhaling, reaching through that left elbow. And then exhale. Come back up. Awesome. Bring the hands down onto the floor and switch sides there. So the left foot out to the left, right knee into the floor. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Curl your tailbone down, stand up. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Find that long side body on that right side. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, press your left hand into your left leg. Reach up and over with that right side. Opening up the right side body here. And again, keep pulling this left foot into the body, and you'll notice the leg moving into your hand as the hand moves into your leg. Keep breathing here. Elongating through the right side body. Pulling that right shoulder back, lifting the gaze. One more deep inhale. And as you exhale, come back towards the center. Take your hands behind your head, and we'll find that strength 5 times again. Take a deep inhale as you reach through that right arm. And then exhale, pull yourself back towards the center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull. Keep the hips moving forward. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Awesome. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Bring your hands down to the floor. Come back into a child's pose. Toes together, knees slightly apart. Bring the arms down by the side. Back behind you. And breathe. Beautiful. On your next inhale, go ahead and push yourself up. So we have a muscle that is a hip flexor, but it's also a low core muscle, and it attaches to your sacrum in the back. So this muscle, it's your psoas. We can kind of pinpoint it to strengthen it. A lot of times we feel like the fronts of our hips need to stretch. Most of the time they need to strengthen. So we're just going to do a little bit of that continued. Another thing that got our psoas was that boat pose where we kind of lifted one leg, kept the knee in line in the beginning. So this next one, for on all fours, you just step your left knee up and then come onto all fours. If you need a cushion underneath your right knee, make sure you get a blanket or something or roll your mat up. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other by squeezing your left heel back towards your left glute and your right knee forward. Take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, reach your hands forward. So there's a difference in this pose between reaching, so protracting and retracting, and then rounding the spine. So try to stay as upright as you can through this pose. So pull your inner thighs towards each other, tuck your tailbone down towards the floor. So that tuck would be that tailbone moving down, the belt buckle moving up towards the face. So from there, we're going to find that tuck and then start to reach your hands forward. So we, again, only want the protraction. So if we're retracted here, and then we can protract. From here, tuck your chin toward your chest. Think about externally rotating the arms here and then serving that forward. So you may need to round a little bit more than you think, but it's not a lean at the hip, right? It's just the shoulders. So protract, tuck the chin, Curl the tailbone underneath, and then keep reaching. And you should feel your psoas start to fire up here in the front. Beautiful. Keep reaching for 3 more breaths. One more deep inhale. And as you exhale, slowly release. We're going to come down, walking this left foot forward, and then exhaling into a hamstring stretch. So pull this left toe back towards your face, contract your left quad. I like to walk my heel forward so that my knee stays above my hip, below my hip. Inhale your heart forward, exhale, fold. Amazing. Go ahead and come forward. Plant your hands. Step that left knee back. And then we'll step our right knee forward. So you'll see the other side of this. Go ahead and come up onto your knees and your foot. Pull those inner thighs together. So left knee forward, right heel back towards this back glute. Take a deep inhale and you start to curl your tailbone up underneath you. I already feel it on this side from here. So as you curl your tailbone, take a deep inhale and reach your heart forward. Reach your hands forward. Your heart should be moving back. So find the protraction, external rotation of the shoulders. Your hands may be pointing up, and then you can really start to tuck the chin. You should feel this. Take a deep inhale and breathe. One more deep inhale. And exhale, release. Shake it out. Heel toe this right foot forward. And then straighten the leg. Bring the toes up towards the sky. Contract your your right quad. Pull your right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale your chest high. And then exhale, fold. Feel free to take your hands wherever you need to here. Beautiful. On your next inhale, come forward onto all fours. Plant your hands into the ground. Lift your back leg high. And then step this right foot back. High plank. Move your hands underneath your shoulder blades and find that internal rotation of the hands, external rotation of the shoulders, and hold. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Curl your tailbone down towards your toes. Lift your chin. Push through your shoulder blades. Pull in and up on your navel center. One more deep inhale. And as you exhale, bring the knees down. Untuck the toes and come into a child's pose. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Sigh it out. On your next inhale, push yourself up onto all fours. Beautiful. All right. So we're going to come into a downward facing dog. And we're going to hold it for about a minute. I don't have a timer here, but I'll just feel it out. And then we're going to come into a forward fold and move through a couple of standing poses that really use your core. So go ahead and come into all fours. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, push through your hands. Find the external rotation of your shoulders. Tuck your toes underneath you and lift your knees. From here, take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, straighten at your armpits, at your shoulders, and take your chin towards your chest, bringing your thighs in towards your belly. So we start here, pushing through our shoulders, finding that external rotation, allowing the head to hang. Shake it yes, shake it no. You can start to straighten one leg at a time if that feels good for you. But just keep breathing and keep pushing through your hands, gripping into the floor. It'll make it way easier for you to stay in this pose. If you want to challenge yourself, think about walking your feet back a little bit. And then coming back into a kind of bent knee. Push through your hands, push through your shoulders, pull in and up on your navel center, and send your hips up towards the sky. Find that deep, deep root all the way from the hands through the hips. And then you can think about pressing the heels down towards the ground or even lifting the tops of the feet up towards the shins. Another thing you can think about is finding a corkscrew of your feet, so turning your toes out and your heels in isometrically like they're stuck to the sticky mat, and you'll feel the motion, the movement at your hips. Keep sending those hips high and pushing through your shoulders. Beautiful. On your next inhale, pull your hands back so that you can come into a high plank. Exhale, send your hips to downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to your high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, last one, forward to high plank. And then exhale, bring those knees down. Sit back into your child's pose. Take your arms down by your side for a moment. On your next inhale, come back forward. Send yourself into a downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale and lift your right leg high. Exhale that breath. On your next inhale, bring the knee into your chest without moving anything about your downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale and exhale here. And then inhale, come into your high plank. If your toes touching the ground, that's fine. Step that right foot forward. Spin this left heel down, and then we're going to inhale up to a warrior. You can open yourself up here, bend deeper into that front knee if you need to. On your next inhale, we're going to reach up, and then as you exhale, reach down with this right hand. Inhale, reach up through this left arm and start to bend forward. Keep opening up your chest, reach down with this right hand, and feel the core working on that left side. One more deep inhale. And as you exhale, come into your warrior. Shimmy those shoulders down your spine. Inhale, your gaze and your hands high. And as you exhale, bring this left arm down, right arm up. Come into your reverse warrior. Bend further into this front knee. Press harder into that back foot, turning that left glute on. One more deep inhale. And as you exhale, reach both your hands forward. As you slowly bring this right hip back to bring your hands down towards the floor. Come back into your high lunge. Step that right foot back and come into a downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, bring your left knee into your chest, not changing your downward facing dog much. As you exhale, bring yourself forward into a high plank, still sucking that knee into your heart, and then step the left foot forward. Spin that right heel down. Really open yourself up here, and then we're going to inhale up into our warrior. Press as hard as you can into that back foot, and think about moving your left leg forward and your right hip back. So we kind of move our hips. A lot of times we want to bring this left hip back, but we got to push that sucker forward at the knee. On your next inhale, lift your arms high. And as you exhale, take your left arm down. Reach high through this right side, and then start to reach forward. Really press into the front foot, sending the energy up into the knee, and reach as far forward as you can, reaching down with this left arm. Beautiful. One more deep inhale, and as you exhale, come into your warrior. Inhale your arms high, and exhale, take that right arm down, lifting your left hand high, lifting that left side body high. Come into your reverse warrior. Bend further into the left knee, and press hard into that back foot. One more deep inhale. And as you exhale, start to reach forward, seeing how slowly you can come down towards the floor. Take that right leg back into a high lunge. Step the left foot back. Send the hips back to downward facing dog. And then eventually down to a child's pose. Take one more deep inhale and exhale. And on your next inhale, we're going to start moving down towards the floor. Let's start at the top. Go ahead and come to the top of your mat. Toes together, heels slightly apart. Inhale your heart high, your hands high. And then as you exhale, start to come up onto your tippy toes. Hold your belly in. Keep reaching up. Whew. It's okay if we fall, keep trying. Curl your tailbone down towards your toes, squeeze your inner thighs towards each other, keep reaching. Beautiful. And as you exhale, bring everything down. Step it out for a moment. We're going to do a balancing pose here with our eyes closed. It's fun, I swear. So go ahead and spread your toes wide. Send them as wide as you can and then set them back down. Close your eyes and come into your Tadasana, pulling your shoulders up, back, and down, pulling your navel center in and up, allowing the energy to shoot through your fingertips. And on your next inhale, take your right heel high. The eyes are closed, so if this heel lifting up is difficult for you, then we're going to stay right here. If you can go another step, make sure your tailbone is curled down and your belt buckle up so that we have that left leg extending, and move the right foot closer. And then if you're ready for our next part, start to turn the knee out and take the ankle onto the heel. Contract your left quad, pull that right hip open, and pull your navel center in and up. If you want to take it even further, you can lift your foot off the ground. See how long you can stay. Keep breathing. It's okay if you fall, just try again. Whew. One more deep inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly open your eyes and step that right foot down. Awesome. So we're going to do this one more on the other side. So go ahead and spread your feet wide, come back into your Tadasana, and then lift that left leg high. Left heel high. Keep the toes on the ground at first. Extend through the right leg, extend through the crown of the head, pull the navel center in and up, and then maybe start to turn the left foot out, turn the knee out, and then eventually bring the ankle onto the heel. Maybe even the toes off the ground. Oh, this side is not good. Awesome. Take a deep inhale, and on your next exhale, soften your eyes open and soften them open. Softly open your eyes and step back down. Awesome. So come back to the top of your mat. We're going to take our feet apart, about mouth width distance, and then inhale, come up high on your toes. As you exhale, start to bend your knees and reach your heart forward, seeing if you can come down on your toes. Nice balance here. Once you get down to the floor, you can inhale, and then exhale, drop everything, folding. So forward fold is all about the core. You heel to your feet back together here. Inhale your heart forward, bend your knees a little bit, and place your belly on your thighs. As you exhale, allow yourself to hang. On your next inhale, take your hands either to the ground or to the backs of your ankles. Wrap the elbows in towards each other, almost touching. Notice how that brings the shoulders off the ears. And then start to extend the heart down. Pull the navel center in and up and straighten the legs. With every inhale, fill the belly with air. And with every exhale, pull the navel center in and up and see if you can get the crown of your head any closer towards the floor. Bringing the weight into the heels. One more deep inhale. And as you exhale, slowly release the arms. Heel toe your feet back out. And then we'll just sit into our yogi squat. The palms in towards each other. Have the elbows inside the knees. And think about taking the palms down towards the ground. The forearms down. Lifting the heart, pulling the shoulders back. Beautiful. One more deep inhale. And as you exhale, bring your butt down. Squeeze your knees into your chest. Nice. Maybe roll side to side if that feels nice for you. We're going to do a couple more core exercises here. The last one being breathing. Go ahead and take your feet down towards the floor. Take that right ankle on top of the left knee, and then you'll take the right toes towards the shin and that right knee away from your face. So from here, we're going to pull our navel center in and up. You'll notice that the small of your back is touching the floor here. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, lift the hips. Keep lifting the hips high, moving that right knee down, noticing the sensation on the outside of the hip here. Take another deep inhale, and as you exhale, slowly lower. Bring this left knee in towards the face. Keep pushing that right knee away. Beautiful. Set the left ankle down, set that right ankle down, and kind of windshield wiper your legs side to side. And then whenever you're ready, create that left ankle, figure 4. So first we're going to pull the left toes towards our face, push this left knee away. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, lift the hips. Keep lifting the hips high. Keep pushing this left knee away, just about a 10 or 20%. You should feel a sensation down your leg here. One more deep inhale. And then exhale, slowly lower. Bring the right knee towards the face. Keep flexing the toes of that left foot and then pushing that left knee away. Awesome. And then go ahead and drop that foot down. Drop the left foot down. So we're going to take our hands underneath our hips. We're going to bring both knees into the chest and then send both legs up high. And then we'll just tap about 5 times. If this is too hard for you with straight legs, just go ahead and bend the knees at 90. So there'll be a 90-degree bend at your hip and a 90-degree bend at your knee. Notice how the knees want to stay above. Move them over the hips. It'll be harder. The low belly has to stay on the ground, and then we can practice that intra-abdominal pressure. Take a deep inhale, and then as you exhale, tap the right foot down, bring it back in, left foot down, bring it back in, right foot down, bring it back in. So if your legs are straight, it'd look like this. Your goal is to keep that opposite foot, the one that's not touching the floor, in its exact point. Don't let it come forward towards your face. And don't let it move down towards the floor. Awesome. One more on each side. Squeeze those knees into the chest. Beautiful. Let your legs and your body fall all the way over towards the left. So we're going to find that left shoulder on the ground, the left hip on the ground, pancake your hands, and then pull that right arm out like a bow and arrow, and allow yourself to twist up towards the ceiling. So I like to do this kind of twist because it tells your nervous system that we're okay. If you want to experiment this, we'll do it right after this, promise. Notice how it's really easy to get your right shoulder blade to the ground. Notice how there's no pressure in your low spine. Take one more deep inhale, and as you exhale, pull that bow and arrow back like you don't want to release it. And then squeeze everything back into the center. So that same way, take your arms out to the side. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, let your knees fall over towards the left. So how does that feel compared to what you were just in? I know my knee doesn't touch the ground all the way here, and if I did, the pressure is not in my upper spine, but in my low spine. So go ahead and come back into the center. Roll all the way onto your right side. So the right shoulder and the right hip are touching the floor. Plant the hands towards each other, and then pull that left bow and arrow back. So notice how it's easier this way. So the reason why is because we have a bunch of nerve bundles down here in our low spine, and our body doesn't want us to be able to bend and move there because they need it to protect it. So our nervous system has a mechanism that tells us that we, no, you cannot do that. It keeps us tight, it keeps us tense because it doesn't want us to injure ourselves. So by coming all the way onto the right side and then pulling back open with your thoracic spine, we're basically telling our nervous system, like, it's okay. We're not trying to stretch the low spine. We want to open up the thoracic spine where we're supposed to bend and move. And this is where we want to do the work. And so opening and using the upper spine instead of coming over with the low spine allows the nervous system to understand this. And then we can open up way more doors this way. Your nervous system has to be tricked sometime. Go ahead and bring the knees back into the chest on your next inhale. Beautiful. All right. So in this last one, we're going to come up onto all fours, so however you want to get there. And Tim Ferriss calls this one belching cat. A lot of yoga people call it nollie. Basically, we're going to pull up and create a vacuum in our belly, pulling up and using all our muscles. And you can really think about targeting more muscles this way. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take a deep inhale. You're going to slowly exhale your breath out. And as you do, forcefully pushing the air out of your mouth, you're pulling in and up on your navel center. You'll be in all fours doing this. So you should feel pretty hard and compact at the end of that breath. And at the end of that breath, we're going to hold our breath. You're going to suck your belly in. And then whenever you're ready, take another inhale. So we're going to continuously do this. So when you pull your belly in, think about pulling your diaphragm up underneath your ribs and then pulling your low belly in and up as well. And you can start to kind of pinpoint different muscles along your core, and you can start to pull them and turn them on more, and just like notice them basically. So yeah, we're going to do this for 5 breaths, and then we'll be done. So go ahead and come onto all fours, and we'll do this together. Inhaling your breath, pushing. Notice whenever you're holding your breath, your shoulders may be by your ears, so allow them to soften away. Find that external rotation and still keep the pressure in your belly. So inhaling. Exhale. and vacuum. Four more. Three more. Two more. Last one. Amazing. Come back into your child's pose. So one thing that I did forget to mention in that exercise is that if you just ate or you feel kind of full, you may not notice as much of a vacuum because you're full of food. So be compassionate with yourself through this whole practice and allow yourself to use this as kind of an exploration to see where you're at, the things that you can and can't do, and maybe set new goals for yourself. So whenever you're ready, you can come out of your child's pose, come back down onto your spine, and then we'll just move into our Shavasana. So squeeze everything into the chest, into the belly, squeeze the feet, squeeze the hands, squeeze the arms, the legs in towards each other, squeeze the face into the knees, squeeze the face in towards itself. Take a deep inhale, and then as you exhale, release everything. Find stuff around you that will make your Shavasana so sweet. If you need a blanket, or if you need to lay on something, or if you need to go get in your bed, it's up to you, really. Allow your arms and your legs to be long and start to notice your back and your body touching the ground. Your ankles, your heels, your calves, your thighs, your bum, your shoulders, the back of your head, the back of your hands and your arms, your forearms. And then take a deep inhale into your belly and then allow it to fall, relaxing everything, melting into the mat. Breathe deeply in and out of your nose, slowly softening, eventually softening your breath as well, softening your mind, finding stillness, and just being here now. Please take as long as you need in this Shavasana. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you really enjoyed this core exercise, this core abdominal flow, I guess. And if you have any questions, write them in the comments or find me on Instagram and get on my email list underneath the link in my bio. My Instagram is Jen Numinos, JenUminos. That's JenUminos, Jen Numinos. And under the link in my bio will be a place to sign up for that email list. Awesome. Again, thank you so much, and I hope to practice with you soon. Namaste.